and cut my head off. All right, so we're back. All right, and for those of you who stuck around with me last year, watching the different tips and stuff like that, thanks a lot. And those who are joining for the first time in 21, thank you. Those who will join in the future, thank you. Pass it on, subscribe, etc. Right? Yes. So a couple of days ago, I got I'm Wayne again. Monroe Vacuums. All right. A couple of days ago, I got a request to do a video about the Bissell Premier. There's a couple of Bissells. All right. Old school Bissell was well. There's a lot. There's a little mini machines. The what do you call it? Power steamers and stuff like that. But all the premises are the same. Right now, we're going to focus on the big boys. Okay. Now, I don't have a Premier on hand, so. And I didn't want to wait until the shipment comes in for me to make this video because I don't know if the problem was, from Christmas and New Year's and all that stuff, guests coming over, if that's what, happened this year. So I didn't know if this video was like, like I need information now, Wayne, that kind of thing. So I'm going to use this as a prop to help discuss the other unit, okay? But if you happen to have one of these, then yeah, definitely is going to benefit you, okay? And I'm also going to use the tank of the Bissell 2X, the regular Bissell 2X, to help illustrate those points also. So here we go, all right? Let me kind of run you through this, and I hope this. Oh, by the way, I got an injury the other day. Yesterday, I almost cut my finger off. Playing around with knives, man. Don't do that unless you know what you're doing, right? I thought I knew what I was doing, but it's a little mistake. But my boys, they held it together tight. They didn't buckle at the sign of blood. Got me what I needed. Wrapped it up. Man, I'm proud of these boys. So, so here we go. All right. So with the shampooers, right? It seemed like we do videos about shampoos more than the others because I'll be honest with you, vacuums are fairly simple. They're making them a little bit more complicated now, but still, vacuums are fairly simple. It's brush, belt, bag, on and off switch motor kind of thing, right? Shampoos have a couple of more things happening all the time. All right, so I'm going to give you kind of what the basic problems that shampoo is going to have, and then we're going to just focus on the suction alone. But I just want to kind of give you an idea, okay? Because especially if you just bought one, you just got one for Christmas. Well, I don't know, maybe you did. But here's what happens. You're going to have brush problems. Just basic stuff. Brush, a belt, okay? Suction problem, spraying problem, maybe a power problem. Maybe, not too often you're going to have a problem with the power. It could be the switch, could be the cord, could be the motor. But for this particular case, we're focusing on the suction, okay? So now, I'm going to show you how to diagnose it, how to step by step, break it down. Because there shouldn't be any guesswork involved. There's no fantasy magic that you close your eyes and maybe tomorrow it disappears kind of thing, right? It's very they built these things systematically. And if you use a little system to find the problem, you should be able to find it. So let me see if I can help you. Let's jump right in, all right? So here we go. Okay. So now, the first thing I'm going to do when I want to test the suction, there's a saying, right? This ancient saying, as above, so below, right? You'll find it in ancient Egypt. You may find it in Greece. You may find it in the Israel type writings. You'll find it all around the world, as above, so below. So the same thing with this. Okay. You have the suction below, which is for the carpet, and then you have the suction here, which is for your upholstery. So when you're having a suction problem down here, what you do is just check up here first. Throw some water on, a piece of carpet or something, and then see if the suction works here, okay? Because the suction is originating from the same place. Now, if this suction works, then most likely the motor is good, doing its job. And the tank, there's no gap in the seal of the tank. Okay? So check this first things. Now, so if this is working, then most likely the suction is in the nozzle area. Something is happening around the nozzle area. Maybe it's clogged and you just couldn't see it. Maybe the seal is messed up in the nozzle area, or maybe the nozzle is not on properly. Okay, so that's kind of what you look for. All right. 2. Okay. So the question is, what happens if I don't have suction here, right? And I also don't have suction down below, right? So what do? Now, oh, I'm not ready to turn it on yet. I'm gonna turn it on in a second. Watch this. What you do then is, let's check the motor before we check the tank. We're gonna check the motor, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do that. You get some kind of thin paper or plastic. Okay, plastic might work. Let me use plastic. Okay, let me do this. Let's turn on this motor. Okay. Now, if you notice, this is where the suction is going to originate, and there's always going to be a protective mechanism to protect the motor from carpet fibers. Okay, and that is this mesh right here. Okay, and in the older units, I'm going to get to this, but I kind of want to backtrack a little bit. In the older units, the mesh, I think, used to just pop up inside this part of the tank. In the older Pro Heat units. In the Bissell Premier and the Bissell 2X, the mesh is in the tank itself. Okay, so what happens with this is that people would, you shampoo your carpet, you empty out the dirty water, you put it away, you stick it in the closet or wherever in the garage, and then over time, that wet carpet fibers, it dries up. So the next time you turn on your unit, okay, the suction is going to build up in this vacuum is going to build up in here, and then those carpet fibers are going to get sucked right to the mesh if you don't clean it out. And sometimes we forget, we're busy, we're moving, and then we empty it real quick and we figure that's enough, and that's it. So this mesh here is designed to protect the machine from that. So this could also be clogged. Check that, right? So here we go. So let's check the motor for suction. This is how you do that, nice and easy. You can either use your hand, turn on the motor, okay? And you see where the port is, where the suction comes from. Just put your hand over it if you want. Good. Or okay. So that works. So the motor's fine, all right? Okay, got no suction, man. What's going on? Now, if the motor's fine, the only thing in between the motor and what you're trying to accomplish is sucking up water is going to be a tank. Because remember, we check the bottom, we check the top. No suction either way, right? Now, what are the chances of both of these things being clogged and everything else is okay? Well, you're going to have to look at what you've been doing. If you're shampooing your garden, then maybe you've got some stuff inside your hose and inside the bottom. But most likely, you've been shampooing your carpet. And a lot of people hardly use this thing. See, if you know you haven't been using this, the likelihood of something being clogged in your hose is very, very small, right? So most likely the problem then will originate here. So you want to make sure that this is sealed off properly. And if you've been using hot water is going to kind of, like boiling hot water is going to kind of warp your tank. So let's say you haven't been using hot water. So let's check for a couple of things, right, real quick. Make sure your seal is on there. These things have a black little seal that go around. The seal's intact. Okay, seal's intact. Okay, all right. Well, that's not it. Well, let me make sure I put it on properly. Did I put it on properly? Is it locked in? Do I have any gaps? How do I check for gaps? Well, what you do is you put it on here, okay? And you turn the unit on, and you could put that same thin paper. Don't use your hand because your hand is not going to be as sensitive to feel if there's air escaping around your tank. Okay? Again, this works for the 2X and it works for the Premier. Just you can do the same test. This is the test. You turn on your the unit, You can see it all around. And see if it's trying to pull at the loose paper, the little rice paper or whatever, or this plastic. See if it's trying to suck it in. If it's trying to suck it in, bam, we found our problem. Okay? Same thing with all these same units. Now, if that's not happening, okay, then I will take it into a shop. That's only if you have a blockage here and here. There's no fantasy, there's no magic with this one. All right, there's no like little elves in here messing with you. If you checked here and you have no suction here, and you checked the bottom, you have no suction there, and you did this little test and nothing is happening, something else that we're just not seeing because we never opened the machine up to see could be the problem. But if you have suction here, but you don't have suction here, okay, now we need to go towards the nozzle. The nozzle could be the problem. Here's the other part. All these machines have some kind of a seal. Here. Seal here. Okay? And even when I take this off, there's a rubber seal here. Okay? The Bissell Premier. Again, this was originally about the Bissell Premier. Again. So the Bissell Premier, the seal, if I'm not mistaken, should be right where the main tank meet with the nozzle, where the water, the dirty water gets sucked in. That's where that seal would be. For this Bissell 2X, the seal is on the actual window. You know that window nozzle in the front. Keep calling it different names, but that on top of that is a seal. Sometimes that seal has a gap. Okay, so that's kind of what you would do. There's not much more mystery to that, guys. It's either your motor is something going on, but most likely it's not. Okay, test it though. Okay, good. Motor checks off. What's next? Right? Well, let me check my tank. Okay, is it clogged? Is my mesh area's clogged? Do I have dirt? Also, here's the funny thing about it. Okay, for the units, this might sound really silly, but I've done this. You see this knob? Carpet and tools. Let me turn it. I've tried to clean the carpet with the thing on tools. And I'm like, what the hell, man? Come on, this thing's not working. I got suction here. So it could be because you got to turn it back to carpet. That could be the problem. Okay. And if that's what it is, man, just giggle with yourself. Don't beat yourself up. All right. I do that. And again, because it is a feature, so you can do more with your machine. But look here. This is for floor cleaning. Turn it up to tool cleaning, and it directs this blocks the suction from going down here, so the suction can focus on the tools. So sometimes, I'll be honest with you, sometimes that's all it is. You just have it, it's turned the other way. But hopefully all these tips can help, man. If you guys have any other questions, if these videos are helping you, please subscribe. Please feel free to ask me for a video. If I can make it, I'll make it right away. And if not, just kind of be patient and wait for me on it. I have some other ones coming out that I already made. I already recorded some videos. I just haven't been able to upload them. So when I do, it's going to say, this is my last video of 2020, stuff like that. Don't mind them. But that's it. All right. You have anything that you need, visit our website, monroevacuums.com. If we don't have it on there, we can probably order it for you. Just contact us. Our email is there on the site. And that's it. I'll see you guys in a few when I come up with something else, or I kind of try to fulfill one of your requests. All right, then. Talk to you soon.